100, 5, 100, 5, 5, 100, 5, 100, 5, 5, 100, 5, 100, the 5, 100, podcast, the 5, 100, podcast, the 5, 100, podcast, 5, 5, 100, podcast, the 5, 100, podcast. It's the 5100 podcast. It's the 5100 podcast.
I thought it was a game or something. Look crispy, ducks. I thought it was a game or something. Look crispy, ducks. I thought it was a game or something. Look crispy, ducks. I thought it was a game or something. Look crispy, ducks. I thought it was a game or something. Look crispy, ducks. I thought it was a game or something. Look crispy, ducks. I thought it was a game or something. Look crispy, ducks. I thought it was a game or something. Look crispy, ducks.
All right, what's going on, y'all? I couldn't wait no longer. I know it was just 20 seconds, but my anxiety was starting to kick in. So wanted to talk about some stuff with y'all, man. Um, want to shout out to I seen your little podcast. Um, he kind of motivated this conversation. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Let me know in the chat if y'all can hear me. Put a one in the chat for me if you can hear me. This was an impromptu live, so I know there probably won't be that many people here. So, but I still had to do this. Says the five, my boy, what's going on? Man, I had to get it in before I had to go to work, man. I know you at the workhouse getting to it. I'm doing the same thing, bro.
Yo, yo, yo. I should be sounding a little bit better now. Y'all let me know. Yeah, I'll come on in this joint, man. As you come in, make sure you hit the like button, man. Hit the subscribe button. I'm giving y'all some time, trying to give y'all a little time to get in here, man. I know this is one of them topics people don't really care about, so you know. It's not a sexy conversation. Nonetheless, I'm definitely gonna have it though. So I have been thinking about doing this live stream for a while. Didn't know how I was gonna handle that. Shout out my boy Lou, the demon. She turned me into a demon. What's up, my boy? But I've been wanting to talk about this for a while. I just haven't found the time. We do so many different topics, you know what I'm saying? That man, sometimes it'd be hard to get to certain ones, but this one I know I needed to do. So anyway, I was listening to a little podcast show a couple minutes ago. And I heard him talking about Michael Jackson's childhood, and I heard him mention something that reminded me that I need to do this live. And he mentioned that we don't really care about these kids like that. And when he said that, I was like, all right, it's just time for me to do this show. I just took it as a sign, right? So if y'all look at this picture on your screen, right? This was me when I was a young, hardworking father. And this was the day that my daughter was born. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting there, no facial hair and shit. You know what I'm saying? But this is me with my little girl, man, when she was first born. And I was just sitting here thinking as I listened to a little podcast about the journey I've been on as a father, a co-parent, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, a young buck, man, knocking shit down, you feel me? Yeah, man, but I wanted to have this conversation because I said I was thinking about me as a father when I first became one and how excited I was and how in love I was with her mother and where we are today. It's crazy how it can be such a shift in the dynamic in the situation we call life, man. Shout out to Bless Rage, Shalom. Great topic, man. Thank you for being here, brother. Yeah, it's a topic we need to talk about. So, where am I going with this? Why did I decide to, have this conversation right now? Like I said, I believe God put this in my head today, put this in my heart today. I had been wanting to do this show, but today just was the day that I guess I needed to do it. I'm not camming up. I'm sorry I can't see my sexy face or whatever, but it was impromptu. I'm not gonna do all this setup shit. I've seen enough people go on here with just the avatar. Y'all know what I look like. We always do a live show, so I ain't hiding. You feel me? Lady in the Void, what's happening, baby girl? Thank you for being here. One of the best mods in the game. Make sure y'all hit that like button as y'all come through my door. Dust your feet off. You know what I'm saying? Take your shoes off as you come in, man. Mandrell, what's happening, my brother? Glad to see you here, man. So, anyway, I was just thinking about black children not being protected. You know what I'm saying? And I wanted to explain to y'all where I was coming from, right? So we always, tell y'all about this story. If you've been following us long enough, shout out Jenny, the best moderator in the game. It's between her and Big Bad Bull, right? But we've told y'all about this. What I'm about to tell you now. We did a poll on our Instagram a while back, and that poll stuck with us, bro. You know what I'm saying? I really couldn't believe the response that I got, but when I sat and thought about it, I was like, you know what, this is right. So I asked the question: would you stay in a relationship that you're unhappy in for the benefit of your children? And what was disturbing about that question was the answers we got. We got one yes and several no's. Most people said no. And the one person that said yes was a black man. The rest were women saying no and men saying no. But that was one yes. And I look back on my relationship. I think if y'all followed us long enough, you heard me say I was a year away from having a successful marriage. That's what I feel like. We were going through a really rough time, and I made the choice. She made the choice that we just weren't gonna be together. And I thought a year of trying to make that work more, bro, we would have had an amazing marriage. I personally believe that, but that's history. But the reason that that's important is because my daughter came to me. This was last week before we did her birthday party, right? She came to me and was like, Daddy, I just don't like the fact that I miss you when I'm with mama, and when I'm with mama, I miss you. Wait, I'm sorry. Yeah, I didn't think I said that right. So when she's with her mama, she miss me. When she's with me, she miss her mama. Right? This is what I'm getting at. This is the problem that I have with our community, and myself included. So this is not me trying to point fingers and, beat down our family or beat down our community. This is just the facts, right? We have something in our community that is a running joke, and it's called F them kids. We have a running joke in our community. F them kids. What does that say about us, bro? Let me get down here in this chat. Shout out to my guy Marcus, man. Always showing love. One of the good brothers in this space. Blessed Rage says, you can't spoil a strong man's goods without first binding the strong man. Without a man's protection, everything is at risk. You preaching to the choir, brother. You are preaching to the choir. But yeah. And my daughter feels that, But yeah, back to that poll. Everybody said that they would not stay in a relationship pretty much if they were unhappy. You know what that says to me? It says two things. We're not willing to work on each other and understand our humanity within each other, number one. And then number two, we're selfish. We're completely selfish, bro. It's like we just disregard our kids and what they go through and what they feel for our sanity and our happiness. And what you hear in the community from women and men is when you have children, it ain't about you no more. I'm starting to believe that's just talk, bro. That's just talk. And after I realized when I left my ex-wife, like the damage that could be done to my daughter, I even made an offer to my ex-wife to try to live together and make the best out of the situation for our daughter. And she laughed at me. It wasn't even something she considered. She completely laughed at it. And the excuse that people like to make when this conversation comes up, if I ask the question again, I'll ask y'all in the chat, would you stay in a relationship that you're not happy in, which could just be temporarily? That's what people miss when I ask it. But could you be in a relationship that you're not happy in to sacrifice for your children, for the betterment of your children? Would you stay in a relationship? Right? The answer you'll get is, well, if we arguing and we fighting, it's not good for the kid. So why would we want to live in a toxic home? Do you not think co-parenting gets toxic? Because I know it do for me. Let me see what we got. Yeah. Trigger Man says, I have done it. Lady Voice said, I did it just like Kevin Samuels. I'm just saying. Yeah. But the excuse for people not doing it is always centered around this word toxic that is overused in the world, bro. It's just, I'm so sick of toxic and narcissistic and emotional intelligence, all these goddamn buzzwords that don't mean shit. And I want y'all to read what Jenny said. I'm gonna keep talking, but I want y'all to read what Jenny said, because this is why I believe I should have stayed in my relationship when I was in it with my child. Because, bro, I'm telling you, like, it's a different thing if you really care about your children when they come and say to you, I'm tired of going to mama's house for Christmas and then having to go to your house for Christmas. Let me explain to you how deep this stuff is, right? I was talking to Tez about this one day. I tell people all the time, bro, I come from that struggle, that single parent struggle, that split family struggle. I come from this, right? So think about this. When we had a birthday party for my daughter last Saturday, right? I had orchestrated this party. This was my doing. I told her mother about it 2 weeks ago, right? And she said she had some things going on, which she did. I know some things personally I won't mention here that she really had going on that was difficult for her. But that was what she said at first. Closer to the date, she was like, we got things we got to do as far as the business that we run, so we won't be able to make it. But then the party started at 1 p.m. and she dropped my daughter off to me at 12:30. And my daughter told me that basically she wasn't that busy. Now, my daughter could not know, sure. But the point is, she wasn't there for her birthday party. But see, if it was us together, ain't no way she wouldn't have been there. You get what I'm saying? When you split, it affects so many things, bro. It affects so many things. You got to understand that it's not just as simple as y'all not being a couple anymore. Everything is affected. For case in, let me give you an example, right? Case in point. When it comes to my dad's side of the family and my mother's side of the family, the person that's supposed to be the liaison, or the persons that are supposed to be the liaisons, are your father and your mother, right? We don't have the best relationship, my dad's side of the family. I got more of a closer relationship with my mother's side of the family, which is not a coincidence because that's who I was raised up under. That's who was there. You get what I'm saying? Let me see what this is. Yeah, make sure y'all go subscribe to my guy Mandrell, man, at the Black Man Unfiltered Network. They're going live today, I believe, right? 8:30. Is that the time y'all going live? But yeah, you know, I don't have. I have what, 3 sisters and a brother, and they're all by different women. So my daddy got to wear this mistake. You know what I'm saying? I got it. Like my daddy has to wear that because he, didn't make it work with whoever he was with. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be, right? And we're. I mean, you just gotta think about this, bro. I try to have a relationship with my folks, but the damage is there through all the years of disagreements that him and my mama had, through all the turmoil that they went through. So I don't even have a relationship with my family like that because he didn't facilitate that. And then my mother didn't facilitate that. So that leaves a lot of children without a part of them. Like, I'm out here on my own when it comes to not having my father's side of the family. So what I'm getting at, bro, is that our biggest generational curse that we don't want to talk about, because when we talk about generational curses, we talking about I want to be the first to graduate in my family, not a bad one. I want to own property, not a bad one. I want to, get to the bag, not a bad one. But the generational curse we don't want to talk about is family. Our families are cursed in the black community, bro. It's not even close, bro. Hold on, let me see. There we go, Tiz. They didn't make it work because it was about them. And from what I know, they didn't have a real relationship, right? But at that point, when a child is being born, it don't matter. But see, I wasn't the first child. I was the second child. You know what I'm saying? It was. Look, so I was going to my daughter's school on her actual birthday, which was last Wednesday. And I went to the Party City to go grab her some balloons, right? She liked the special balloons. She don't like the just little happy birthday joints. She want unicorns and shit, right? So I go to Party City, right? And I want to tell y'all what happened the night before. I got off at 4 that morning. You know what I'm saying? I had to edit a video. And I had to be back up to get myself ready for the show I was planning on doing. I ended up not doing it. But I ended up getting up anyway. Get my area in order. Get my clothes ironed, all that good stuff. And then I went to my daughter's school. I did not feel like that, bro. I didn't feel like doing it. But for her, I got my ass up and got it done, right? So I went to Party City, and there was this stand in front of it. And these brothers was out there talking about violence against children, the way children are deleting themselves, right? So in Tennessee, we are the number 10 state in America for child deletion. Let me say that again. In Tennessee, we are number 10 in the nation for child deletion. That's an incredible stat. So I sat out there, I chopped it up with the brothers because they're doing something about it, right? So we just got to talking about family. One of them had a baby on the way. So me and him was just talking about fatherhood and talking about what it takes to raise these kids. And one thing I made sure I said to him was, the woman you're with, you need to stay with her if you can, bro. You need to. You need to secure that family. And he shook his head, yeah, of course. And I was like, nah, bro, it's not as simple as you shaking your head. You need to understand what I'm saying. My daughter is under a roof with another man right now. And without me, who probably loves her more than anybody on this planet. She's under that roof. And she's not protected in the way that she's supposed to be. And the guy that my ex-wife is with, I think he's a sucker. But as far as a man goes, I mean, he all right. You know what I'm saying? But I don't trust him with my daughter. I just have to deal with the recourse of my actions, the consequences of my actions of not being with the mother. So I said, bro, you don't want to do that. You want to try your best to make this relationship work because it's for the betterment of that child that's in your girl's belly right now. You know, and I believe a lot of us have dropped the ball as men when it comes to fatherhood. I do, because our culture perpetuates it. You know, we talk more about co-parenting in our community than we do about husband and wife. I mean, bro, you just gotta look at some of the stuff that goes on in this space, bro. That goes on in this world, bro. That goes on in our communities, bro. It's never anything good when it comes to our families. It's way more baby showers than there are weddings. And I wanna pull up a comment I saw earlier that I didn't address, but I wanna get to that. Hold on, give me just a second. Two things. I want to pull up Jenny's comment. Let's see. Jenny says, duty was thrown out the effing window. It is. It's constantly done on both sides. I can't lie. Can't lie. And I want to pull up Trigger Man, right? F them kids is primarily a black female phrase. It is. That's who I hear it from more. But I will say this. I'm starting to hear a lot of brothers do it. I'm starting to hear a lot of brothers say this shit. And it's disturbing to me, bro. Shout out my boy Reggie, man, a.k.a. Charles Washington, a.k.a. Nappy Beard, a.k.a. Tom Brady, apologist. Shout out to my guy. But yeah, we don't value family. We don't. And our boys are reading at a third grade level, bro. And most of the people that suffer, in my opinion, and it's not even a most or least comparison. It's just what I noticed as a black boy. Black boys get a very short end of the stick. You know, I was talking to some brothers, I won't say their names, in a back chat a couple days ago. And one of them is Nigerian. Well, two of them, actually both of them were Nigerian. And we were having a conversation about black men and African men and what we don't seem to understand about power and how we should be moving as men, right? This was the conversation we were having. And what I got from that conversation is that just men are not valued. And men, oh my God, this comment right here is perfect. They are. We are ruled by our women. And it's not a coincidence. It didn't happen by happenstance. It's the way we were brought in this country. It's the way we think in this country. It's the way we move in this country. But in the way that we move, it's affected our children, bro. You know, black fathers are doing very well as far as co-parenting. And when you pay attention to the fact that, you know, if we're going just by the marriage statistics, only 20% of men live in the house with their children and their wife or their baby mama, whatever you want to say, which I know is not an accurate stat because I know a lot of people that shack up and not married, you know, so that's not an accurate stat. But most of us, when it comes to having children, you notice that when we have the children that we split. Anybody else notice that? That when it comes to children, we actually split, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I just think that that's terrifying, bro. Because I did that shit. It wasn't too long after we had our child that we split. It was probably like about 2.5, maybe 3 years, and then we split. It's crazy, bro, that the children we split each other. And I'm gonna give a standpoint from me just talking to sisters that have children, right? I remember I was talking to this joint. I didn't even know she was pregnant. I ain't even cap. I was trying to smash, right? Because she had some lips anyway. So I was trying to smash, right? So this woman was pregnant as I was talking to her. Now we chopping it up or whatever. And I got her number or whatever, but I'm just we chilling. You know what I'm saying? I ain't had nothing to do at that time. She ain't had nothing to do, so we chopping it up, right? So she tells me she's pregnant, and I'm like, oh, I would have liked to known that in the beginning. So Lady Devore, look, man, don't be outing me like that. But I'm like, I would have been nice if you had to mention that from the jump. So I'm like, okay, so you know what's going on with you and your baby daddy? And she said, fuck him. I don't care nothing about that nigga. And I'm like, wait a minute. You okay. You have his child in your belly. And you're telling another man that is just trying to knock your big lip ass off that you don't care about him and it's fuck him. But you're physically pregnant with his child right now. Bro. That child, what kind of child, what kind of life is that child gonna have? And I don't know the baby daddy, so I can't speak to that situation. But let me go over to a guy that I know that is one of these guys that I have a problem with when it comes to children, right? And before I even say that, let me talk about this guy. And this is not a shot at him, but I have to say this because it's a guy in the space that said, you know what I'm saying? What my boy said, Ted said, the old me would have still clapped. Yeah, I'm not gonna even talk about that. What actually happened with this chick afterwards? We're just gonna leave that where it's at, right? But so there's a guy in the space he calls himself Remil Reloaded, right? And he has the pump and dump principle, right? And I don't have an issue with a guy feeling like he want to just smash something and move on. It's all good, right? I mean, whatever. But I was on a panel with him once on Mr. Palmer's channel, you know, Mr. F Child Support, right? I was on the channel with him and we were having a conversation about, you know, being on child support, fighting for custody, you know, X, Y, and Z. So this guy came on and was like, I don't see how y'all can deal with that. And he was like, basically like, I would just leave. And I said, bro, I understand that thought process. Right, I understand the thought process of she's making it hard for me to see my child, stressing me the F out. I understand the process of wanting to leave. But see, here's what dudes like that don't understand or care to understand. It's something my dad didn't understand till later. Having the mentality of I'll just link up with my child when it gets older damages your relationship with your child to the point that me and my dad is more partners than we are father and son. Just the reality. And then with girls, it can be very different because if that woman is very manipulative, which a lot of you are, that little girl will not have no respect for men. So what is me fighting? What result would I have if I didn't fight for my daughter? I'm gonna let a nigga like you get to her? I'm gonna let a pump and dump dude get to my daughter and become another 304 out here? I think not. I don't go for that. I understand it. I understand the process of not wanting to fight for your kid because you never should have to. Let me get that clear. You never should have to. But I do have a problem with guys that just sit there and take it, bro, and don't do anything. I have sympathy for it because I bro, mentally I understand it, but I can't excuse it. I can't. You know what I'm saying? I have that problem because I know what it's like to be raised by a domineering mother that pushes things in my head, right? You know, man, let me see. Kids not your friend to a certain length. I was taught because when you're ready to discipline, they're gonna look at you like, what? Oh, facts. Because my daddy really can't tell me nothing. He couldn't tell me nothing. I ended up living with my dad when I was like 15 for about a year and a half, and we it was a fight in that house. But I'm saying, bro, if I leave out of first, because I'm frustrated, bro. I did that birthday party for my daughter, and my ex-wife did not show up, and she been preaching to me how we have to do what's best for our daughter, but when it comes time to her to do what's best in a situation I create, oh, that's out of the window. I've accepted and had to deal with a lot. Like, for instance, the dude she with, I'm not gonna lie to you. I can't say this because it's incriminating myself. So let me say this. The only reason I haven't touched him yet, wink, wink, is because of my daughter. That's the only reason I ain't touched him. That's the only reason I ain't put hands on the boy. Because my daughter has some kind of affinity for him. And I don't want to traumatize my daughter by what I'm going to do to the boy. So that's the reason I've spared him. Now, these people were living together without me knowing, lying to me about it, put me on a restraining order because I went off on her for taking me off of my child's daycare list to where I couldn't pick her up anymore. So that goes in motion, and I don't see my child for a year, and I'm not even knowing that another man is living up under the roof with my daughter. But see, before I get into that, I'm responsible for that too. Because I didn't make it work with her mother. So when I release them out into the world and walk away from that relationship, I can't overly complain, bro, because I'm reaping what I sowed. That's just the reality of it. And that's how I get to myself as a man. This is how I was able to hold myself accountable, bro. This is how I was able to be like, even though I think it's a lot of bullshit that's going on with y'all too, I'm gonna have to take it to a goddamn extent, but to a degree, I'm gonna have to accept the energy I put out into the world, the mistake of not being with her mother anymore. That's the reality, and I can't do anything to stop that. You understand what I'm saying? So back to what I was saying. I was away from my child for a year. I couldn't talk to my daughter, couldn't see my daughter, and COVID was going on. So I don't know what the fuck. A teacher at her school had died from COVID during this time. So I'm just like, I don't know nothing. Right? That's why I say black children are not protected. But I had to endure that, and all I asked her to do was be there for our daughter for her birthday party. But she wasn't controlling it. She's still getting her child support. I paid $400 for that party, and child support came out that same check, and I'm doing what I have to do. But see, it doesn't matter how good of a father I am in a co-parenting situation. Do y'all understand what I'm saying here? That's good enough, but it's not what it should be. And I remember, hold on, let me address this comment. Don't want to sound like you fighting over a woman. Bro, no, I don't want it to sound like that. But the reason I won't get into it fully, I'll just tell you, for the people that don't know, what was said, right? That makes me say, yeah, I'm going to have to touch you. And this is why when I see this man, his eyes are to the floor. My eyes is at his forehead. I want to look him in the eye, but he won't do it, right? Because he know he's... Anyway, so the brother, I got into a argument with my child's mother, right? So he felt that it was his place to step in that phone conversation, which I believe, I know her well enough. She gassed the man up. He gets the phone and tells me what I'm not gonna do. Nigga, who you talking to? She can't even talk to me like that. You think you gonna get away with it? So this man's, oh yeah. I called Tez that night because, yeah. So let me leave it up there because I want y'all to understand how much of a brother Tez is for me, right? So this man grabs the phone, tells me I can't talk to her like this, whatever. Not even understanding that she just I'm not even gonna get into the whole situation, but she did some manipulative shit to remove my daughter from me, and it was my time that week to have her, right? So this before paperwork was involved as far as custody goes, so she could do what she wanted at this time. So this man grabs the phone, tells me I shouldn't talk to her, yada yada yada. So he gets into the point where he wants to, push his chest out. And I said, bro, I want to talk to the man of the house. I don't want to talk to you. Let me talk to her. Let me talk to the man of the house because you're not running shit. So let me talk to her because I'm not like, I'm really not trying to have this back and forth with this man at this point. So this guy says, nigga, I got control over your daughter more than you do. Whew. I just got down. It's like I felt it again. But, I shot off. He all type of bees and hoes, and you know what I'm saying? I'm like, bro, you don't want no smoke with me. Like, chill. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, I know where you live. I said, you do. So I ain't even got to send you the address. Pull up. Of course he didn't pull up. You know what I'm saying? Bro, when he said that and he talked that shit to me, I had to get a new phone, by the way, after this, because definitely the phone was definitely destroyed. Whew. So, bro, I called Tez, right? I called Tez, and I was like, bro, I want blood, bro. That's what I told him. I told Tez, I want blood, bro. I want blood. And ask Tez, he in the comment section, ask him if those were words that were empty. Those words were full, my nigga. Those words were full. I meant every word of that. And to this day, I have not lost that. I mean every word in that shit to this day. And even since then, I've been face to face with him at my daughter's cheerleading events. I want it. I still want it, bro. But out of the love for my daughter, I don't do it. But what am I getting at when I say all of this, right? When it golly. Hold on, man. Whew, let me hit this smoke right quick. God damn. Nigga, y'all just don't know, boy. But that's what was said, right? And you know what I keep thinking? I keep thinking I would not be in this situation if I had chose a better woman, or if I had to stay with the woman I didn't choose the best, right? If I had to just stay, maybe I would be stressed a little bit more. Yeah. I, you know what I'm saying? Thought I was gonna have to. Yeah, he. It tells I ain't gonna lie, and this was the thing. They're living together. I don't know where they live. I don't know where my daughter lays her head at this time. So I couldn't even like. It was a blessing that I didn't know. Oh, because I definitely would have pulled up. And if they didn't answer the door, I'd have been breaking windows, trying to kick the door down. Because the rage I was in at that point, like that rage is still here. So imagine the rage at the moment. You know what I'm saying? And Bless Ray said, "My bad, I didn't mean to stress." Oh, you ain't stress me, bro. I was gonna get there, but you know, this is why I enjoy having people in the comment section that's respectful. Yeah. So, yeah. Charles, cool, man. That's the hometown guy, man. That's our guy. He good, man. He a day one supporter, and we actually personally know him. But yeah, man, that day is when I realized that. You know what frustrated me the most though? When he said that, he was right. At least from the vantage point of that he's around my daughter more. He doesn't have more influence over my daughter. I know that by how she is, but to an extent, he was right. Because I'm not with my family anymore. And that's what I'm getting at, y'all. That's what I'm getting at. When we do this thing called co-parenting. Yeah, shout out to later. They on their game though. They sniping shit. Oh no, I wasn't talking about him. Nah. Charles don't want no smoke with me, man. He know what's up. I'm just playing. But people in my city know how I get down, man. They know me. Yeah, I didn't put hands on the boy, but you know, I had to realize, you know what I'm saying, the reason that my daughter is in that situation is because my family is not secured. And I'm somewhat lucky that he's a decent working guy, from what I can tell. You know, that comment got me worried. But for the most part, he's a decent working guy. But I have partners that have women that are the mother of their children that, you know, go from guy to guy. You know what I'm saying? And I truly believe once you created a child with a woman, there's no man that can truly have the instinct to protect them like you can. So even the woman that was my woman, I fed them to the wolves in a sense. We both split, but I mean, I just look at me. I don't really focus on her and what she did. I'm looking at my standpoint. I was ready to leave. I didn't understand what that meant. But understand, I was also raised by a single mother. And I was left out there for the wolves. My dad left me out there for the wolves. So this is what I was used to. And what I've come to understand is that you're not a great father, truly, if you're not locked in with that woman you had a child with. You can be a good father. You can be a damn good father. But greatness is reserved for the men like Tez Defy. It's reserved for the men like Charles that are in the home with their children. That's reserved for them. Because they're doing what it takes to get our children secured. Because they're unsecured. They're unprotected right now. Like I'll say this stat again. In Tennessee, we are number 10 in the country for child deletion. Our children are under attack. You see the LGBTQ movement. You see the drag queens doing story time with children. You know, matter of fact, let me show y'all something if I can find it. Right, give me just a second. I'm gonna show you how serious it is that you be in your children's lives, and I don't mean just a co-parent. Please hear me when I say that. Co-parenting is not good enough. It's not acceptable. It's the bare minimum at this point. Let me see if I can find this though. I saw this the other day and I thought I should share this with you guys because it illustrates even more of my point, right? So let me so let me ask y'all a question. Matter of fact, let me ask Jenny a question. Because I know that's a married woman that I know. Jenny, if you and your husband split, would you feel safe, truly? Even if you got the mindset that y'all can't be together or y'all stressing, would you feel safe, truly? Would you feel safety would be there for your children, truly? Give you a second to answer that. And she is a married woman, ladies and gentlemen, so, you know, just want to get that clear. Oh yeah, I know about this. Yeah, I know about this. Yep. And see, it's even deeper when we talk about boys, because there's a certain attack against masculinity, bro. Manhood, testosterone. Like there's an issue with that, right? I'm having trouble finding this video. I'm about to say, fuck it. Let me see. Because I watch a lot of stuff on here, so I be getting lost, man. But so Jenny, what I mean is, would you feel as safe if y'all wasn't together? That's basically what I'm asking. Would you feel as safe? Would you feel your kids are as safe without him if y'all split? Even if you found a new man, do you feel as safe? Do you think you would feel as safe as you do right now as you're in love, in a relationship with this man? Do you think you could ever feel that amount of safety again without him? That's what I'm asking. I hope that makes sense. I know it's kind of a loaded question, but I'm going somewhere with it. All right. I found the clip too, so I'm gonna play that.
$2 million. That's what it's taken for me to defend my boy. Now they're trying to take my boy's genitals and eventually kill him. This is what happened to him. This is him at 4 years old. His mom, she was a pediatrician in Coppell, Texas. She had my son on her website when it raises money for her. All the while, she was complaining that I was posting pictures of him on the internet. I pointed this out in court. The next day, that's how she put him on the website. You know, the court did absolutely nothing about this. So at the time, we had a court order which prohibited either one of us from presenting the boy in a way that he wasn't known to third parties. Somebody knew him as a girl. I had to present him as a girl. That's me picking him up. She used to do this stuff to provoke me. She wanted me to be violent. Here he is a little older. She now dresses him up like a drag queen everywhere he goes. He goes to school like this. She's given him a fake name, Luna. Despite the fact that I've told the schools they don't have my consent to do this, I've changed his name. I'm headed toward a federal lawsuit with them, which is going to cost me a lot more money. So I'm going to ask you, if you can't stop this as a father in Texas, do your children really belong to you under the law?
So look, I'm just gonna show you another one. and this is not, I'm not trying to make this about men per se. I'm really making this about children. This is what our children are having to deal with in this society, right? Okay. Shout out to Coach Greg Adams. He was on this this is the channel that I'm starting to look at more and more. It's called Patriarch Convention. Check this out. All right.
Husbands, products of the single mother raised kid. That's basketball player kissing his mother. I have a mother. I don't kiss her like that. But the son husband is a direct effect of the removal of the masculine man who she could not maintain or chose to turn over his authority to sell you out for nickels and dimes. That community in particularly 70% or better. He basically is going to assume the duties of the father who was removed or poorly selected by her. And he's going to give her all of that masculine energy up until a point. I won't say what else is going on. What she's going to do, she's going to keep him close as she would a husband. She's going to guilt him into supporting her because she highly likely is never going to get married ever again. But she's going to guilt him into being that lifelong support as a husband would be. She's basically going to sabotage any connections that man will have at selecting his mate because she knows that is her means of support going forward.
What y'all think about that? Bro, I don't think, and this is to the men, right? Because you hear these two examples, right? I want you to think about something. That doesn't happen if you're there, right? Now, I understand that today's pickings is becoming slim. And that's why I can't stand when people be like, you just have to find one woman. Well, duh. But the point is, the culture is shaping women in a different way that is unrecognizable, bro. So even with picking, it's a hard thing to do. So it's the next level. And it's affecting women too, as far as the men that they want, because they're effeminizing men, emasculating men. So the family is under attack. They start with the father. That's where they have to go. They have to start with the man. That is the protection. Y'all, if y'all go look at Jenny's comment again, she said she feels unsafe. Basically, she feels naked without her husband. They know that. They are the people that are pushing these narratives. They are the people that are talking about single moms by choice. Bro, and they're using the women to do it. So that's why we talk about women. It's not that we, have a hate for women. I don't have a hate for women. We're talking about women because you're the target. They using you to do this. Understand? Remember, I earlier mentioned that I made an offer to my ex-wife to be together again for the betterment of our child. But what she's been told, what she was raised up under, would not even allow her to consider it. It's deep, bro. It's deep. I'm gonna play one more video. And fair use, by the way. I ain't even say it. I'm gonna play one more video if I could find this one. Let me see. All right, I got it. Let me load it up for you. Let me see. Let me get to some of these questions, right? I mean, these posts in the comment section. All right. All right. Ted says, ask Kevin Durant. Yeah, ask Kevin Durant. I believe if I got married again, I would never feel the father of my kids' role. I'm married, so it's a biased perspective, as it should be, Jenny. Or Blueface, yeah, that idiot. Um, well, the issue is both parents not having equal custody unless married, and the son husband is a mental illness. Agreed. All right, let me get to this this other clip right quick, right?
His girlfriend says, I've been having a conversation with my girlfriends and you don't pay me enough child support. What? I'm paying for a college fund for your child. I'm paying you support directly. I'm maintaining additional expenses. I'm helping for all of the extracurricular activities. What do you mean I'm not paying
Fair
you enough
use.
money? Well, coincidentally, she just bought herself a new house and a new car. Oh, now I get it. You need more money. And somehow I'm supposed to make up the shortfall for your spending habit. I said, if you think you can get more, take me to court. And sure enough, and a few months later, I get a sheriff at my door on Christmas. My wife was a few weeks away from delivering our first child. And that scene was so disturbing that it caused my wife to have a panic attack and forced her into early labor. I got served with a child support lawsuit with a demand that was going to increase my support payment an extra $2,000 a month. The ex
Jenny says you didn't get my first answer. Hold on. Maybe I misunderstood. Hold on. If I wasn't with him, I would feel lost and unprotected. I would feel lost and unprotected. Not at all. I would feel vulnerable in the world. Yeah, I got that. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I was just saying because you said if you got married again, it would never fill the father of my kids' role. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I get you. I was saying as you should feel that way because that was the father of your children. That's how we should view these things. That's what I was trying to get at. Maybe I didn't make it clear. Maybe I'm still not making it clear. Let me know, Jenny. You know, I want to make sure I get you right. You know what I mean? But what I just talked about, what I just played. She trying to come up? Oh no, you saying the woman trying to come up. Okay. So as far as what I just played, right? I gotta tread carefully when I say this. Because it's not as simple as just having the discipline. Because one thing that we don't really talk about is the way you have to choose women today. What you have to choose from. Because that's where it starts. That's where it started for me. The fact that I'm not around my child every day started because of the woman I had a child with. You know what I mean? It wasn't the best decision for family. I didn't know that at the time, you feel me? But, you know, the results are what the results are. I have to deal with the shit. That's the reality, right? But here's why I guess is why we keep trying to talk to women, our women. Because they use you ladies to break the family as well. It's not just the men. I've addressed the men, so I'm not trying to overly criticize you, but I have to focus a little bit more on women because they put the keys in your hand, right? Especially if you split. It's almost like women are incentivized to leave their man. And it happens so much. I mean, bro, just think about how many people you know that have children and they split right after. That's not a coincidence to me, bro. It's a mentality. We're still the only community that screams from the mountaintops that we don't need our fathers. Do y'all understand that shit? how damaging that is, what that does to young black boys. That's why I say they're not protected, because that boy already feels as if he's not needed. Not to mention, boys get abused, man. Girls do too, but boys get abused in a different way, because our community is so matriarchal in thinking, female thinking, that a boy living with a woman, his masculinity is toned down and misused and treated as a beast of burden, bro. You understand how? Oh man, I grew up like that, bro. And I did not want my daughter to experience anything like it, and I could not avoid it. You know how helpless I feel in that situation? And I mentioned to y'all what happened with the guy that my ex-wife is with. Come on, man. There's pressure behind that shit. It's smoke behind that shit. But I have to contain myself, restrain myself. I'm telling y'all, man, y'all just don't understand, bro. A lot of y'all just don't understand the life that we're living in, the world that we're living in, what our children are facing. So I'm gonna wrap this up. I will open the line for a minute, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna be here too long. But if y'all want to come on and just speak about what I'm saying. So just to kind of recap a little bit. What I'm getting at is that us as people leave our children unprotected because we don't value family. We did a poll on the 5100 Podcast Instagram. Make sure y'all go follow us on Instagram. And if you in here chilling, you might as well hit the like button. It's the free 99. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Also, if you want to donate to the 5100 Podcast, you can support on PayPal or you can support on Cash App. And you can also send a super chat. You know what I mean? We appreciate any contributions. We're not pushing for the contributions, but we definitely appreciate it. But if you can't put anything in the collection plate, the like button is a damn good concept to go ahead and get into. Hit that job. You feel me? Treat it like a fat ass you see on the street. Go on, hit it. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and open up the lines. I have definitely dropped them in the chat, but what I was basically saying was we don't value family the way that we should. We had a poll that we did on Instagram, and we asked people, would you stay in a relationship you're not happy in for the betterment of your children? And the response that we got was definitely not surprising, but it was heartbreaking. And it just made me realize why in Tennessee, where we live, is the 10th highest space in America for child deletion. So just wanted to get at this. I'm gonna bring up my guy Mandrell. What's going on, good brother?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm good, bro.
First time I see you in this light.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to get people to the other side, man.
Yeah, I heard that. I mean, you're definitely right. We don't value family the way we should. Well, my family, we're all close. Like we were all like when we see stuff like that, we don't understand it really, because like I'm on both sides of my family, my dad and my mama's side. Like we were all raised together. We were all raised to not fight each other, take up for each other, stuff like that, have each other's back, so we always have. And, my sister and I always been close, so yeah, my sister's my best friend. So when it comes to stuff like this, we don't get it. Like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
And staying with someone, a relationship you're not happy in, for the sake of the children, I say you should, because that child needs to be protected, and that's something you both brought into the world.
Facts.
So you got to bite the fucking bullet and be an adult now for the sake of that child.
What do you think about? So I told you my dad has 4 baby mamas, right? And I think it's not a coincidence that I only have a great relationship with the sister I was in the house with. And the other 3 family members or siblings that I have, it's a distant relationship. Like
Mhm.
it's kind of hard to ask what I'm asking, but what I'm trying to say is that the reason that it's hard is because it's supposed to be. We were supposed to be under the same roof with one mother, one father, all the same mother, all the same father. And I'm used to this turmoil. But when you hear that, like what do you think, bro?
4 baby mamas, man. I mean, you think at some point, but it would slow down. You know what I'm saying? And I think in the concept, yeah, you're supposed to be under the same mother and father. That creates a much more stable environment than the alternative. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree, bro, because the way I look at it is that even when it comes to step parents and stuff like that, I've always said it's more difficult because it's unnatural. It can be done, and I feel like more men, if they find a woman that is, acceptable for you and a good woman, you should not turn away a woman because she has a child, because that child indeed needs a father figure. So I'm not against it, but I was saying that it's unnatural, bro. And
It is, because
go ahead.
even though you're a stepfather, that woman's always going to wonder, do you really love her child like your own? She's always going to wonder it, whether you do or not. You might, but she's always going to wonder, what's this about? You know what I'm saying? And not only that, like, you have to be honest with yourself. Do you really love that child? You know, are you going to love that child like you love your own? Because that's what it's going to take. That's what it's going to take. All kids need a father figure, but ain't nothing like a father.
Facts.
A real one. You know what I'm saying? Father figures are cool. Role models are cool. But there's something about looking at your father and like, that's my daddy. Especially if he's just that dude. You know what I'm saying? If your daddy is that dude, which is probably going to be in your eyes anyway, that's my daddy. You know what I'm saying? There's a pride that goes into that child's heart, especially a boy child. There's pride that goes in that kid's heart. Like I was like that with my daddy. You know what I'm saying? Growing up, because I grew up with both my parents. My sister and I both grew up with both our parents. My daddy do something badass. I'm like, that's my daddy. You know what I'm saying? That's my daddy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And my daddy he's passed on now, but he left a huge shadow. Mm-hmm. Huge shadow behind him that to this day, I was talking to my sister. You know my sister Shu, right?
Yeah.
I told her, said, I don't think I've stepped out of his shadow yet.
Yeah.
Like, it's just that he made that much of an impact. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Not only on me, but on like society, locally here. You know what I'm saying? Like I said this before, at his funeral, I didn't know that many people knew him. Like, it was so many people at this man's funeral, we could have sold tickets.
Yeah.
The mayor showed up and spoke at his funeral. I didn't even know he knew the mayor. Mm. You know? So it's like, damn, these are shoes I gotta fill? How the fuck am I do that? But you know what I'm saying? Now everybody looking at me, his legacy, what he's left behind.
Yeah.
Now you see everyone staring at you like, oh shit. No pressure, I guess.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But there's a certain amount of pride that I still hold and respect for him. You know, a pride and respect I hold for him. Hey, I don't see how a stepfather could be held in the same regard as an actual father who's present in his child's life and teaching his kids lessons. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, like, even my mama, like, talking to her recently, you know, she was talking about relationships and stuff. And my mother and I never talked about relationships. But she know I got a new woman in my life, you know what I'm saying? And so she was talking about men and stuff. She's like, this is why I always told you that there are still good people out there. There's still good men out there. I know that there might be rare and very few of them left, but they're out there. I know. I had one. And you know, my mom and daddy never talked about their relationship or nothing like that, but to hear her say it about him, you know what I'm saying? Like, because my mama, listen, my mama can be cold, CJ. You know what I'm saying? She can be cold, boy. You know what I'm saying? I asked her one time, why was she so hard on me? She said she refused to raise a sorry man. And then I understood why she was so hard on me all the time. Like when I started boxing, you know what I'm saying? Like she be on my ass about going to the gym, you know, and at home, doing push-ups and sit-ups. My daddy was on me about it. She was on me about it too, you know what I'm saying? And if I went my first boxing tournament, I lost like in the finals, right? Made it all the way to the finals, first boxing tournament, lost. And I remember the look on her face. And it like in my head, what she was saying was, bum ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? And so that's my that's my mom's, right? So imagine how how it was my dad, because he was, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, they were both very loving parents. We had everything we needed and most of what we wanted. You know what I'm saying? So if we were poor as kids, we didn't know which is the right thing to do. Because my mom would say all the time, we first started, we ain't had no money. Me and your daddy started with nothing. Yeah. We built what we had from the ground up with nothing. Because they both came from poor families, you know what I'm saying? So it's like respect.
Yeah.
They built what they had. What they had in the end, yeah.
See, and this is why, you know, I love me and Tez's dynamic, because Tez was raised by both of his parents. I was single mother raised. He's married, I'm divorced and co-parenting. We can kind of tackle it from these angles. And what you're basically saying is your parents gave you a blueprint. Mm-hmm. Your parents held you to that. And that's why I say a lot of kids are unprotected, because it's hard to do that with one parent. It's right. Next to impossible, bro. It's next to impossible. Let me get my guy Reggie in here.
If I could, man.
Who is that?
It's Barack. Bless Rage.
Okay, go ahead. You go first. I get Reggie. I got you, Reggie.
Go ahead.
I mean, he go ahead. I'll wait.
You got it, but go ahead, bro.
Okay, no sweat. Yeah. And that was a heavy thing as far as, like, let's say, like, when it comes to being a stepfather, right? One of the things that we have to realize that when we're dealing with other people's children, you're not necessarily going to look at that like that's your child, but at the same time, you got to take care of it as such. So one of the things that we got to say to ourselves is, this young man or this young lady is a brother or a sister of mine, instead of it being my child, because you know, from the gate, you're not looking at that like that's my baby and I'm gonna love it the same. And the woman that you're with, she's looking at it the same way. She's looking at it like, well, this is my man, but we all know that that's not his child. So is he going to love it the same? That's her thought, and that's always the man's thought. But one thing that we do have to realize is that we came up in a time where being emotional was the thing, where we always had to think with our emotions. When we don't really, everybody seems to forget that real love is not the way you feel about something, but it is the actions behind what you're doing or what you're saying. So when you put in actions, I always say to my people, how do I know you love me? By you doing what I say, or by you doing what is right for us. Not just you know what I'm saying that you love me out your mouth, or saying that you feel some kind of way about me, but you have to actually be putting forth an action to show that. Because let's say if it's a woman and a man dynamic, you can't be telling me you love me, but you're smacking me in the mouth every day. You can't tell me you love me, but you letting a man put 12 inches of rod down your back every day. Like, these are things that, you know what I'm saying, you have to prove what love is. So us coming up during a time where everything is all about emotion, we have to fill in that gap and say, look, love, true love is what I'm doing for you. Some people are not, like, we got to realize everybody's not the same. Every man is not going to be soft and gentle and kind and sweet. Some men are just hardcore rough niggas. That's just what they are.
Bro.
And you can't stop him from being that. You got to let that man be what he is. But that spanking that he gave your child, or them rough words that he gave your boy, maybe that's the only way he knows how to give it, as long as he's not being, you know what I'm saying, like physically abusive. But that is his way of showing love to the child. Because at the same time, he will take him to the candy store or to get ice cream. You feel me?
Yeah. Let me and I'll get Reggie in here after this, but let me tell you something, because I agree with you 100%. My grandfather, right, which is not he was not my biological grandfather, but that don't matter to me. But when he was alive, I could not stand him. And this is to Mandrell's point. But at his funeral, the support that was there, he was a Kappa, so all the Kappas was there. All his military buddies that were still alive were there. And what I saw was a representation of the man fully in that church. And what I used to just focus on was the meme. But what I didn't realize was he helped me get my first car. He taught me how to cut grass. He taught me how to put my dukes up. He taught me so much, but I focused on the meme. And that's another issue that I have. And you so right. In this time, we're focused on emotion. It's purely emotion. It's purely how we feel about something versus understanding what the man is. We've lost. The problem is we don't value what the man is and always has been. We're trying to redefine it. We want you to be more emotionally intelligent. And we want you to be, and it's like, it's nothing wrong with being better, but there is a foundation of what a man is. So I definitely agree with you to that point. But let me get my guy Reggie in here because he's been waiting. So Reggie, what you think about today's topic? I'm gonna unmute you.
I heard I heard majority of it. Just the first little half I didn't hear because I was at work. I had just got off. So
okay.
A lot of what I heard, yeah, I ain't Tom Brady. My parents, bro. So fuck you. But the father, I mean, the stepfather is like he said. Is you don't know if the child gonna like you or not. Like we said in the on the Black Father February jam.
Yeah.
You don't know how that child gonna react to who you are. But but then the like shit, like my lady, she did that where she had me do you really love my kid?
Right.
I love my two girls differently from the way I love them.
Yeah.
Just gonna be straight up. Like it's a different feel. Like I seen them come out. And that love from them is different from what the love is with them. So you have to kind of try to get a balance of all four to get, to help both sides. Because you don't want the woman to feel like hell, like you don't love the kids. When you do, it's just not naturally like how you will be with your children.
Right.
Like the natural feel I have for Phoenix and Legacy is different from what I have with them. That's just what it is.
So
and can't change the dynamic.
So let me ask you, how do you feel about what I was saying as far as children not being protected because we don't value staying together even when it's hard or
Hey bro, you know what? I totally agree with everything you said. And me and you done had these talks.
Yes, sir.
And I battled with that and battled. Still have my little flaws, but I done got a hell of a lot better with it. And after one incident, it made me think like I don't need to throw away what I've been saying that I want to do for my two daughters. I don't want that. I don't want another man raising my kids. I want them to understand my mindset and how I feel and what a man should be from their father, their daddy. They the one that put them in here.
So look, so three of us, brother at the bottom left. What's your name again, brother? I keep forgetting.
You just call him Barack. Shit, Bless Rage, either one.
Okay, so look, we from Memphis, right? We all not all of us from there, but we in the area. You remember when Gotti had that song? It might have been Best Friend, but he had a line in the song where he was like, "You bet not have no N-word around my effing kids," right?
Oh,
and you know what we don't realize is, I didn't realize it until I actually was out of my marriage, bro, that you're signing your kids up to be raised by another man. If she even gets another man, like you leaving, it's never just about you. That's what frustrates me when I hear some of these conversations of, well, you don't want to stay in a toxic relationship because it ain't good for the kids. No, it ain't good for you. You're making it about you. You're not making it about them damn kids, man. What you got to say, man, Drew?
You told me about that.
Facts. Go ahead, man, Jerry.
Yeah, that's true. You have to, and the thing is, you got, but it's hard because you're asking human beings to be adults. You know what I'm saying, and put themselves not on the forefront. You know what I mean? People don't know about self-sacrifice is. They really don't. They're too wrapped up in themselves, and they're too wrapped up into being uncomfortable. They don't want to be uncomfortable. Whereas you're talking to a guy like me, like I learned to get comfortable in uncomfortable environments. That's something I think every human being should learn to do. You know what I'm saying? Because
did the Army help you with that?
Oh, I already got uncomfortable. Was okay with it because I started. You remember, I was 4 or 5. I started karate. And I got 12. Started boxing. I wrestled in high school. You know what I'm saying? It's a fight. The entire thing is uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? So I was already, and I learned to breathe and get comfortable with being uncomfortable. You know, but then when I joined the Army, so that's why basic training was a breeze. But then when I got into SF training, whole nother level, CJ. Whole nother level. So yeah, the Army did help me with that a lot. And that's why I come out now and things that make people go crazy don't bother me for real. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
It's uncomfortable, but so what? I mean, I know where I'm headed. I know that this ain't gonna last. You know what I'm saying? This ain't gonna last forever. It's gonna get comfortable again. And to get to the next level, I may have to get uncomfortable for a while. In some way. But self-sacrifice, you have to understand, you made that child. You're talking about asking people to be not only self-sacrifice, but hold themselves accountable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And be responsible. You're asking people to hold themselves to those kind of standards. And most people, suffice it to say, don't want to do that.
Yeah.
They're only concerned about themselves. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got people who they delete babies. You know what I'm saying? They terminate pregnancies for convenience sake.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm against that.
Yeah.
Now, if there's some kind of medical condition you got to where if you don't terminate the pregnancy, then you die, that I understand. Go for it. But just because you got pregnant and you don't want to have the baby, oh well. You got to eat a shit sandwich this time. Make better choices next time.
Yep. That's what we've gotten away from. We've gotten away from that personal responsibility and accountability for what we do. It's like we've been given all these get out of jail free cards, and it's really not a get out of jail free card. It's basically delaying the inevitable. Yeah, that's all it is. That's all it is. What y'all got to say about that? Go ahead, Barack.
No, I mean, you're definitely on point. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay, yeah, most of the So what I was saying is y'all definitely on point, because this is the thing though. One thing I know for sure, like, the life of a black man is different than everybody else's. You understand? That's one thing that a lot of people have got to realize. So when it comes to our families and how we raise our families, it has got to be on a different note and a different tone than everybody else's, because our culture, our life, and everything else is not the same. So when we're dealing with our kids, you know, not being protected, or us signing our kids up to actually be with another man, or them raising our child, like, it's hard to say, well, I'm gonna get with this woman and everything's gonna work out, everything's gonna be fine, because that may not necessarily end up being how it is. But one thing that you have to do as a man, I know for sure, is that we have to hold ourselves we got to make ourselves better every day, because you have to be able to build your value in order for you to be valuable to anybody else.
We have to be more accountable.
Yeah, you do. You have to be more accountable and all that. Like, no woman, like, so let's just say, like, you have a child with a woman, right? She gonna stay with you as long as you valuable. The moment that you're not valuable is when she starts looking for other options, because you have to be able, like, just think about it. She doesn't want a man that's gonna sit around and do nothing, because let's take it back to days when there was no internet, no nothing. It was just going to get the fish. Women gravitated to the men that had the most fish. They didn't want the man that had only 2 fish for the day. They wanted the man that could pull 30 fish, because this was as important. Now, they would stay with their man until they died, but most women would always, before they get with this man, they would try to find the one that has the most fish, because that's what's going to be valuable to their situation. Now, when they have a child and we bring it, go ahead, what you about to say?
No, I just said facts.
Okay, when we bring it to the day, like today's time, right? So if a woman is gonna have a child with a man and she decides, well, I don't want to be with that man, I'm gonna move on and I'm gonna go be with another man. I mean, we really have little to no power to stop that in this day and age because first and foremost, if you're not married, you don't have equal rights. The rights go to the woman from birth. You feel what I'm saying? So you got
Right.
to be able to, you know what I'm saying? You got to be able to have some leverage within this situation. And what leverage is that? That is your value as a man. You have
Power.
to make yourself right, your power. Like that, this is all about power dynamics. Every day is going to be a struggle, a fight, and a argument, whether it's real little or whether it's real big, for you to keep your marriage together and your relationship because anything could make it fall. All it could take is a dude to have more money and a little bit more game, and for you to be out of a job 2 weeks. You understand what
Fact.
I'm saying? And now you
Fact.
no longer have your child, you don't have your wife, you don't have your life, and everything can get flipped upside down. And again, like I was saying, the emotional part of I'm gonna stay with this man forever as long as he makes me feel good is why a lot of marriages don't last. Or why, you know what I'm saying, they all seem to
Ooh-wee.
fail for the simple fact that if he don't make you feel good no more, or if the sex starts to come to an end, you know what I'm saying? She think that she can keep continuing to get more and get more and get more because that's what they've always pushed on us now, especially coming up in this time. You can always get another one. Plenty fish in the sea, all of the dating websites. They even got the Christian websites. You understand where they can find love. You can be a farmer and get go on a farming website and find love.
Hold
So
on,
you
god
don't
damn it.
need no man. You can get a
Hold on.
thousand men.
Hold on, goddamn it. You can't just come in here cooking like that, my nigga. Like
Hey
who you think
man.
who you think you is, my nigga? Like
Hey man.
this nigga is cooking. Go ahead, Reggie. Go ahead. God damn,
You
Barack.
right on
My
that.
bad, brother.
But I mean,
This nigga
shit,
cooking.
he said a lot when he said that. Hell, it's a lot of
Yeah.
that going on. But I mean, shit. He basically said everything. Just we need to put ourselves in a better position where we're valued better and finding a woman that's gonna value. It's not, it take two. It take two to be in a relationship, take two to have a child, take two to do everything. So why not have two to make sure the children are good regardless whether
Yeah.
you don't wanna have a broken home because that's the narrative, that's what people want. But being married and there's one is another whole thing. That's what I feel. I feel like that should be the main thing that should go on.
Yep, and you see you got kids in the background. That's what we
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah.
Like while you sitting here talking about this, you living it. And that's another thing. And to Barack's point, it's even more poignant of a point because you gotta think about it like this. A lot of us have children by accident.
Right.
We was just getting some cheeks. She was just getting some wood.
Right.
And that's how you get a situation like old girl I mentioned earlier when I'm getting down on her not knowing she's pregnant. And when she tells me she's pregnant and I'm like, what's up with the baby daddy? She's throwing shots at him and has no respect for him. I think the way you get there is being reckless with sex. And that's our biggest problem in our community to me, which translates to the problems of family because we out here just having reckless sex. And I do think that men need to be at a certain level in their lives before they even look for a woman, like
Right.
seriously look for a woman.
Right.
That's my thoughts. But Mandrell, I'm gonna give everybody their final thoughts. I'm gonna start with you, Mandrell, and I'm gonna go and wrap it up, man.
All right, man. First of all, thanks for having me here, CJ. Appreciate it.
For sure.
Nice to meet you other guys on the panel.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, we definitely have to do a much better job of protecting our children because women thinking they can do it on their own, they can't. Men can't do it on their own either. You know what I mean? It's a minimum of a two-person job. It's a minimum of a two-person job. Minimum. Okay. So that falls under protection, making sure they have the right guidance, the right direction, having these kids pointed in the right direction, right leadership. You have to have that for kids. You have to think about your kids before anything else. They didn't ask to be here. They didn't ask for it. And fellas, if you already have kids and it don't work out with the woman and you're not gonna be together, you're gonna live separately. Gentlemen, you have to accept the fact that if that woman decides to be with another man, that child is gonna have to live under that man's rules. You can't tell a man how to run his house. So anything short of child abuse, you got nothing to say. You should have picked better.
Facts.
And right.
That's just one of the hard truths of life. You know what I mean? That's the situation you created, you and the woman have created. And this is the way things must be. If you want your child to be properly raised. Because the child's gonna be confused already. You got a third person in here. The woman's brought another man in here. There's a third person in that relationship. You know what I'm saying? And that kid's always gonna want their father. So for you stepfathers out there, understand that kid's father's around, that kid's always gonna want their father.
Yeah.
So as a stepfather, you have to understand that fact too and accept it. Only thing you can do is do the best you can. And don't take it personally. They're kids, they don't know any better. Just do the best job you can to help rear that child in the proper way. So stop being selfish. Put your kids first. Cut the bullshit. Okay? Cut the shit. And that's what I got to say. Thanks, CJ.
Appreciate you, man, Jerry. We the way this conversation went today, I'm gonna do this Saturday. We're gonna talk to Tez about it. I want to talk about how we can raise black boys to be black men, from ideas of military, all these sort of things. I want to talk about how we can strengthen these boys to be better men than we were, and you know what I'm saying, and keep going forward. So I appreciate you, brother. I value your perspective so much.
Appreciate your family. Thank you.
And this is another side of me, nigga. This is the true side. The nigga side is what you get sometimes, but this is the true me. You feel me?
Yeah. The same thing. I got a true side to me too. You've seen it once or twice. But that's about it.
Yes, sir. Well, I'll catch you later, bro.
All right, man. Later.
All right, Charles, is on you. Let me get to you on the screen. You go ahead and final thoughts, my brother. Final thoughts.
Well, I mean, I see what he's saying about the whole thing of stepfather and all that. I mean, yeah, but then what about the man when he has another woman and all that old stuff, and he building a future with another woman, then he have children. I mean, that's another whole thing too.
Yeah. So as far as the topic, just what are the final things you want to say before I close the show down? Yeah.
Oh, okay. My that's a whole serious podcast.
I know it touched you. But go on, you know what I'm saying? Just give your final thoughts on the subject.
Yeah, but I mean, shit. I mean, really, we just need to put a better foot forward. Raising our children, whether it's stepchildren or our own children, getting men to be men again, getting men to be more valued by their woman, by society, period.
Right.
That's what I feel. And I mean, you have fathers that, touched by a lot of people, and some that's not touched by a lot of people. Some you got fathers that not, biological fathers, but they're teaching other children, being mentor to other children.
Like football coaches.
Yeah, like football coaches. I had a coach, real talk. My defensive coach, he passed away during COVID, and I didn't get to make the funeral. I want to thank him much for what the lessons he taught me growing up. Look a man in the eye. Different values of a man. He touched a lot of people. And we need to get more black leaders like that too.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I have on it.
Well, I value you too, Charles, man. A day one supporter and a real life in-person friend, you feel me? So, but I appreciate you coming through, man. And make sure you get with us this Saturday, probably 8:30.
Okay, shoot me.
Central Standard Time. I got I'm gonna hit you up personally.
Yeah, I got you, bro. Go ahead.
All right, bro. All right, brother Barack, I'm gonna give you your final thoughts, man. I also just want to thank you for being here today and coming with the fire.
Hey, big up, man. Nah, big up to the panel. You know what I'm saying? Big up always the 5100 podcast, man. Y'all always got raw topics, and y'all honestly, you know what I'm saying, are for the people. As you know what I'm saying, as anybody can see. I mean, everything that I've watched that you have talked about, you know what I'm saying, every time I tune in, it's about some real, some heavy, some deep. You know what I'm saying? And that's what our people need, because everything that we've been getting lately is very, very light. So, you know what I'm saying? We appreciate you all for keeping that real. You and Tez, man. But if I could, just on the last thing that, you know what I'm saying, that we was talking about, is when you were talking about how to raise the young boys to be men, man. I gotta get in on that panel, because that's the thing that I love. You feel me? I'm saying, I love to see turn these young boys into strong men. You know what I'm saying? Because without that, our nation is gonna be done with. So one thing that we know for sure is when it comes to these, like you said, these two topics relate. They go hand in hand, from protecting our children, because when we were coming up, or let's say when we came out of slavery, we know that they took the skills from us. You know what I'm saying? They started unions to keep black people from getting these certain kind of jobs. We were the ones that had the skilled laborers and do all the trades. And now all we could do is cut hair and do nails and put on eyelashes. You feel what I'm saying? Like we're more technical about guns and pistols than we are about, you know what I'm saying, doing concrete and putting on roofs or whatever it may be. These things are what's going to help our nation and build our nation. And not only just that, the morality of the entire situation. The reason why we don't have strong, healthy, happy homes is because no one has the morality. Our women don't have morality, neither do our men, and that trickles down into our children, to where they only can be nothing but the bad apple, because they were the bad seed from the get-go. You feel what I'm saying? So if we could just have, you know what I'm saying, if our men could have morality, what's right, what's wrong, they teach that to the women teach that to the children, you know what I'm saying, and so forth and so on, and we can outgrow everybody else. Because if you look at anything that we do negative or positive, everybody follows it. It wouldn't be you know what I'm saying, it wouldn't be an African wearing a baseball cap backwards had it not been for some nigga in Memphis or some nigga out in Brooklyn. We are the ones that make everything turn, and they know that if we have strong, protected families, will be the greatest thing on the earth. So that topic about protecting our children and teaching young boys to be men, because they're going to be the next ones to have the women and the children under their arm, under their wings, you understand, under their household, loving them. We got to make sure that we raise them up to be first and be strong and be healthy and be the greatest things ever on the planet. Like I said, skills and morality. Outside of that, man, I appreciate you for having me out. And man, great show.
Appreciate you, brother, man. Golly, this man came kicking some fucking knowledge today. Hey, man, we definitely gonna have to chop it up in the background. We're gonna have to do a personal show with you to kind of figure out. You know what? We'll talk about this. We'll talk about it offline. But I appreciate you coming, bro.
No sweat. I think you got my number.
Yeah, I got it.
Most High in Christ. All
right, bro. All right, let me let Lou up here give his final thoughts. I'm about to shut it down. I gotta get to work, bro. But I'm gonna quickly go ahead, just give your final thoughts and statements on what you heard today, brother, in the topic.
Yeah, I kind of figured you were going off. How's my sound, by the way?
You good, bro. Go ahead.
All right. I want to put it simply. When we met, and the more you talk, the more I understand what you're actually trying to do. And I now know that you understand that not only does the black community need to rebuild and have an internal ecosystem, but you also reach outward, because you understand that the community also needs to trade with other people. And I think that that's one of the things that hits so hard for me, because you didn't know me from a hole in the wall. But guess what? You connected, and you do this shit for real. You help for real. You're not just talking here. You're doing the work for real. So I think that's very important. I don't have anything great or complex to say, but what I do have to say about you and Tez is that you guys do not only understand the micro, but you understand the macro as well. And I think that's big for everyone involved. So that's it for me.
Man, look, man, don't be up here get me emotional and shit, bro. I'm I'm an alpha male. I can't cry.
Right. You're on your purpose. You make 100K plus. You need to
right.
You refrain from acting like a female.
Yes, sir, man. I appreciate you coming through. And those words, I appreciate it, bro, because what people see is a show, but we said this on our last episode. We'll probably be releasing it tomorrow. But the show is, we're not centered around the show. The show is centered around us.
Mm-hmm.
We don't do this shit for, likes per se. Only reason we ask for likes and donations or anything of that nature is to get the message out.
The message, right?
Yeah, that's it. That's all it's about.
Mhm.
Me and you've had personal conversations. We've chopped it up in the back chat, and I got your phone number, brother. And like I said from the day one, we're about this mental health and men being men and being a brotherhood again, because we've lost our way with that. But we, the 5100 podcast, and a few other content creators like Mandrell and Black Man Unfiltered, we in Sir Hell, we picking out, we learning, we watching. I'm watching some of the other niggas too, but I'm parsing out who I want to build this nation with, because what we're doing is going against the grain. There's no other way to look at it. We're not doing the norm anymore. The norm is the bullshit. It ain't what it's supposed to be. So you just saying what you just said, bro. I appreciate it, because that's exactly what we're trying to do.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it, and the more I think about it, I guess I nailed it right on the head. But
Facts.
For some reason, a lot of content creators want to separate themselves in a way that doesn't allow them to connect with other people. But you, like I said, you understand the micro and the macro as well, which is why you're going to be one of the few that end up winning long term, because it's a long term game. It's not only a short term game. You can play the short term with your own people, but once you max out the talent, what are you going to do? You're not going to go out recruiting elsewhere. You're just going to look inward. That's fine, but you're not going to get where you want to be as fast as you should. So again, just a real simple input from me today, and I appreciate everything you do.
I appreciate you, brother. We'll chop it up, man.
For sure.
Have a good day, my nigga.
You as well.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, another show in the books. I was handsome. Look at me. I ain't had no beard or nothing, nigga. I just had a baby face and a baby on my chest with a gold rope. I was a motherfucker back then. I ain't gonna lie. But anyway, look, I appreciate y'all all for being here. Make sure y'all, if y'all have not done it, make sure y'all hit that like button. And if you feeling generous, if you a high value man, you know what I'm saying, you wouldn't mind sending a cash app or a super chat. I mean, this is just for if you're a high value man. I know everybody is, so we should be flooded with cash. Hit the cash app. I'm just playing, but not for real. I thank y'all for being here. I thank y'all for supporting the show. And we definitely care about our community, bro. I'm not one of these guys that say it's over for the community in the sense that I don't want to try to fix it. I know we're in a rough spot, and I do feel as if I'm going against a mountain. But as my coach used to tell me, man, when you're playing football, if y'all, those that have played, the average football play is about 4 seconds long. So if I can give my best effort for every 4 seconds, I can take down this mountain. So I don't look at the mountain as undefeatable. I look, if that's a word, I look at it as every little rock, every little crevice, every little crook, every little, cranny, I try to get into. I try to climb up. I try to break down a certain piece. And, I do this because, and Tez does this because we have children, bro. We told y'all this several times. I don't want my daughter to be raised in a society where they tell her that being Meg the Stallion is the goal. And also, I don't want my godson, Tez's son, to look at Future as the representation of what a black man is. Though I understand that there are some black men like that, that is not the narrative I want pushed forward for our children. And I don't want our children to be so out of sync with their parents that they look at those two people as the standard. If you're in a relationship now as a black man, I'm gonna talk to the man right quick. If you're in a relationship right now with a woman, and the relationship is rocky, it's full of turmoil. Before you get this woman pregnant, leave. Because the way I see it is, if you get that woman pregnant, you're obligated to be there for both of them. That's a lesson I had to learn after I tried to fix it, tried to get back with my ex-wife, but the point is the damage was already done. And as Mandrell said, you don't have much of a say when it comes to what that father or stepfather has to say to your child, because now they're under his protection. That's just the way it goes. So if you don't want nobody else raising your kids, influencing your kids to a higher level than you can, do what's right in the beginning. If you don't stay for yourself, stay for your kids, bro. That's noble. That's honorable. I'm tired of us making excuses that it's toxic and who wants to deal with that. Who wants to deal with it? I don't care about who wants to. You need to, because you created the situation. Shout out to everybody that came through. My boy Barack out of my city. He's been on the show a few times. We're definitely going to do some linking with him. Shout out to Lou, man, one of the most transparent brothers that I've known, and I've only known him virtually for a month. And he's been realer than most of the people I've seen in this space with being vulnerable. So shout out to him. Shout out to my boy Charles, always coming through showing love, a real day one partner, and a real supporter of the 5100 podcast, to where he believes in what we're saying, and he believes because he knows us. We're not up here capping, man. I'm not up here trying to tell y'all I'm some, amazing. I'm just a man, bro. And I just want men to be men again. I want women to be women again. Mandrell. This little tater tart with muscular arms. Good brother, man. From the first time I met that guy, he was going off on, I think, E-Man. But I liked it because I was going to do the same damn thing by what the dude was saying. I just thought it was foolish what he was saying. I can't remember what it was, but I remember I thought it was foolish. And I was like, this man right here got a spirit that I don't see enough in men today, because they're beat down and they're weak. We got to stop that, bro. It's time to man up. If you got some things going on, bro, seek therapy. And I'd advise you seek therapy from a man that you respect. It doesn't have to be on a couch. It could just be on a man that holds you accountable, that's living the life that you may want to live. And close your lips sometime and listen. You know what I'm saying? And my guy Tez the Five, man. Number love for that brother. Yeah. I've said everything I can say about bro, so it's all love, man. Once again, I thank y'all for being here. Thank you, Jenny, for sharing some of your testimony in the chat. Shout out to Lady Navoa for being a great mod that I was in here supporting. Shout out to Big Bad Bull. Shout out to the Moss Network that's in my city too, man. Much love to you, brother. I saw your show that you shouted us out and showed us love. Make sure y'all go subscribe to the Moss Network, man, because he does some good things over there as well. But my ultimate message is, man, these kids are first. You know what I mean? They are first. So with that being said, I'm gonna wrap this show up. Shout out to the little podcast for inspiring me to do this show, giving me a kick in the ass on this show, because I was gonna do it, but I was procrastinating, and he just did something that touched my spirit, I guess. So on that note, I'm gonna wrap this thing up, man. So for your guy CJ100, 50% of the 5100 podcast, I am gone. You dig. Two G's.